Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. Today is Wednesday, March 11th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Of course, you can find me on all the social media sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Truth Social, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Hey, just a reminder, if you're watching online, hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live. On the, on those things too. You can comment live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and please say hi so I know you're watching. By the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now fan page, your name will not show up on my dashboard. Please go to the Money Chat Now page and comment there so I can recognize you. Money Chat Now, of course, is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing, stock options trading, and everything there is to do or know about money. Hey, money's an important topic nowadays, so if you want to learn, go to Investor Schooling. All right, I want to say hello real quick to a couple of people watching online. There's Joe and there's Mick. Thanks, guys. Hey, where is everybody today? What's going on? What's this, a holiday or something? All right. Today's show, of course, we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about China tariffs. We're going to be talking about the fact that all our problems are because of the Republicans. And we're going to be talking about Trump and Twitter. All right. Yesterday, wow. Yesterday it gave me some hope that we might be able to end, and kind of maybe even make a run, make a run on the market, right? The market was up over 500 points in the morning and then quickly it deteriorated. Remember, I've been saying that I believe the market will go down about 31,500 before it starts a new cycle of lows and highs. I believe the range will be about 31,500 to about 33,000. The low yesterday was 33,888, which is pretty close to my number. Now, look, it could still move down to the 31,500 point, but I'd be very happy if I was off 300 points to the positive, and now we're already in the cycle. The other issue is that we are in the dead zone. So the worst is probably not over yet. The VIX did move down a touch, but look, you got to understand that the VIX is at 33. That is extremely uncomfortable. Coinbase also had their earnings report after the bell yesterday, and it came in terrible. This stock was at 369 points right after the IPO, and now it sits at about 61. Yee! This is a sign of many things, and one of them is the lack of interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. Don't forget, crypto makes their money on transactions, not the asset. So that means there may be less transactions in crypto for Coinbase. My prediction for the stock, it'll be in the teens before the end of the year. I got to be honest, I'm not bragging about that one. In fact, I hope I'm wrong. If it goes into the teens, it means that crypto will be very low as well. And although I'm not a crypto trader, crypto is usually a tell for the stock market. So again, if crypto gets crushed, the stock market usually follows. On that same note, it may actually be the opposite as investors start to move back into stocks with their money because they're, kind of tired of the crypto losses. I sure hope you sold your Bitcoin when it was over 40, and maybe you even got 60,000 for it in May of last year. I remember last year I actually posted a Facebook post on this date. Actually, it was exactly 1 year ago today. I said, sell your crypto and buy gold and silver, and you will thank me a year from now. Well, how did the post do? Well, crypto is down almost 50%. Gold is right around the same place where it was at 1850, and silver is down from 27 last year to 21 and a quarter this year. So Bitcoin was definitely the worst play. Gold just stood there, and silver would be down about 25%. Although I got to be honest, I think silver is going to come back. I can't believe silver is this low right now. I think silver should be right around 25. But I really look forward to seeing next year and comparing them once again. The biggest loser yesterday was a company called Upstart. Upstart is a company that lends to higher risk borrowers by connecting these borrowers to banks. So they kind of broker the deal and then they sell their loans to banks. And they're not doing too well. The stock was as high as $401 a share in July, And the stock did so bad in earnings that after earnings yesterday, the stock was down to 33.5 at the closing. So 6 months, or actually almost a year ago, they were at 401 and now they're at 33.5. Whew. The problem is they have too many bad loans on the books and they can't sell the loans. Doesn't it sound like the Big Short would have been the play here? Remember Countrywide? It sounds familiar, right? I even believe this stock is going to be in the 20s soon and may even disappear if they don't get their act together. It looked like travel stocks tried to make a comeback yesterday. They were up a bit in the morning, they dropped midday, and then it returned to the green, but not much. This was a bit of relief, but I'm still worried. I still need Carnival Cruise Lines to go back to where it was in November, and I need it soon. Today, of course, we're going to have what? We're going to have the inflation report, right? So Wall Street will be looking for the report to show slowing inflation, but this gets tricky again. If the inflation report shows too much of a drop, Wall Street will worry about a recession coming quickly. If the report shows inflation is still growing out of control, well, of course, Wall Street will be worried that the Fed will raise interest rates another 50 basis points. So the CPI report, which is the report that is the benchmark of inflation, is expected to show headline inflation rose about 0.2% in April, or 8.1% year over year. 8.1%. Well, that compares with a whopping 1.2% increase in March, or 8.5% gain year over year. So last month the reports came in at 8.5, and this month they're hoping it comes in at 8.1. Really? The April data is expected at 8:30 today, so watch the futures at 8:30. It'll tell you all you need to know about how Wall Street reacted and really how the rest of the week's going to go. Investors are also looking towards earning reports from companies including Toyota Motors, Walt Disney, and Beyond Meat. All right, we have Toyota and Beyond Meat reporting this morning, and then we have Disney reporting after the bell. So Disney, honestly, I believe Disney will do well, at least I hope. Well, look, the parks are fully operational and the streaming service is probably stabilized. I also would imagine that the guidance report will include something that has to do with the Florida changing their tax exemption. There's tax exemption status at, Disney World. All right, look, let's take a look at the futures, and hopefully we're going to have a good day today. Right now, it looks pretty good. The Dow is up 304, the S&P is up 46, and the NASDAQ is up 180. That's great. I like that. All right, real quick, just want to say hello to a couple people who joined us online, Bill and Mark and James. Thanks, guys. And also Jose. All right, did you guys get your hat yet? The one that has the letters MCGA on it? Make China great again? Yep. Now that Biden has knelt to Afghanistan and knelt to Russia, he's about to pull a trifecta by kneeling to China. Want to know a great way to bring back jobs to America and bring manufacturing back to America? Well, here's the trick. You make the cost of manufacturing goods in China to be no less expensive than it would cost to make it here in the United States. As you know, everything is cheaper made in China. Why? Mostly because their labor is cheaper. And, and it's not really about what I'm talking about. We all know why. It's mostly unions and entitled workers. However, given that is the status quo, the best way to raise the price of cost of goods made in China is to charge tariffs, or simply put, a trade tax, right? So now, when, for example, a power drill costs $10 to make in China, and it costs $20 to make here, you charge a tariff of about $10 to make the cost the same. This is very simple. I'm simplifying it here, just understand, but I want you to understand it. This makes the playing field equal. So U.S. manufacturers will say, hey, there's no need for us to make our products made in China because it will cost the same to have them made here. So this will encourage manufacturers to build more plants in the United States and, of course, create more jobs and more of a tax base right here in our country, the United States. Well, guess who made the decision a few years ago to make this happen? Yes, it was the true president, President Trump, who enacted tariffs on China and started to bring jobs back here into the United States. Well, guess who is about to reverse the tariffs that will make China great again? You got it. China's first Joe Biden, of course. Can this guy do anything to help Americans? Sometimes I think the only thing he does for Americans is keeping alive. Really, think about it. He's the worst. Only worse president I could see than him is the laughing hyena herself, Kamala Harris. Oh, and that would make Nancy Pelosi next on line. Oh my! Talk about House of Cards. Anyway, Biden is considering dropping the tariffs to lower prices to consumers. He feels that if the tariffs were lower, the prices of goods made in China will come down. Well, duh, of course it will. And then all the jobs will go back to China, and any goods made here in the United States will have their sales slowed. Does anybody ever think past today in this administration? Of course, China Joe continues to blame Putin and COVID for inflation because it can't be the policies of the administration causing the inflation. The administration is way too brilliant for that. Can you guys on the radio see my, eyes rolling here? I don't know, right? Anyway, I wonder if any people from China, Russia, and Afghanistan were part of the 2,000 mules who helped us get this dullard steal the election. Well, at least when many Americans are out of work in a few years because their jobs went back to China, they can have lower prices to buy products with their welfare checks. I got to take a break here. And by the way, the upcoming commercial was made in the United States.
Okay, so you thought about buying and selling real estate. You thought about investing in the stock market, but don't know where to start. Well, what if you could find a place to unlock strategies to master both real estate and the stock market, all without the headache? That place is Investor Schooling, hosted by Larry Steinhouse, an expert in real estate, financial literacy, and the ins and outs of the stock market. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate, and you will learn mastery of stock techniques such as options and covered calls. You will even get a chance to ask your one burning question to the stock option sultan, the master of picks and plays. Call today for free information and receive a complimentary pass to attend classes or register online at investorschooling.com. Don't delay. These passes are limited, so what are you waiting for? Call in today or visit investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. And if you're watching online, please hit that share button so you can help your friends learn about how to make more money. Hit that like button. Let me know you enjoy the show. All right, everybody, go over, hit like now. Hit like, so I know you're watching. All right, I also want to say hello to a couple people who have joined us. Lewis and Ken, thanks so much for your support. I appreciate you. And Jose says online, he says, tell Biden to stop getting his knees dirty. Yeah, that's pretty funny. All right. So far we've been discussing the futures update, and right now the Dow is kicking butt. It's up about 330, and the S&P is up about 50, and the Nasdaq is up 190. So those are good numbers. We're going to see what happens at 8:30. All right, we talked about China tariffs and how Biden is going to make China great again. All right, coming up, we have, of course, everything and all the problems in the world that are Republicans' fault. And we're going to be talking about Trump and Twitter. And, of course, then we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button? Come on, I told you to hit that like button. Did you guys hit that share button? Everybody hit share. Share it to your page so other people can see it. Don't forget to leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, be sure to set a preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. Also, look up Money Chat Now on Facebook when you get home, and let me know what you think of the show. All right. Hey, look, before we start the second half, we all know a new financial situation is coming. It may be a recession, it may be a simple downturn, but if you want to survive through it, you should order my new book. Go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Money Hacks by Larry Steinhouse, pre-order it, and I promise you're going to learn something. There are chapters in this book about making more money and chapters about paying less taxes. I'm telling you, I made about $100,000 this year so far, and I'm never going to pay taxes on that money, and I mean never. Learn from me. I'm going to teach you how to do it. I'm going to teach you so many other money hacks. So again, make sure you order that book. All right, real quick, I just have to say hello. James joined us as well. All right. So let's talk about the fact that, of course, it's the Republicans' fault, right? It's not my fault. It's not my fault. It's not my fault, says every child under 10 years old. Well, apparently Joe Biden has regressed back to a 10-year-old child recently, or I don't know, maybe he never actually grew up past that age, but either way, he's screaming, "It's not my fault!" This idiot is actually blaming inflation on, ready, the Republicans. No, really. He made a speech yesterday saying that this is all the Republicans' fault. All the problems we have in America are the Republicans' fault, according to brain-dead Biden. Yesterday, Biden made a speech from the the White House, to tell America that inflation is his number one priority. I'm sure he was trying to say that slowing inflation was the number one priority. However, it appears that causing inflation and helping other countries first is really his number one priority. Anyway, in his speech, he said the following. It's unbelievable. And I'll try to say it verbatim. The MAGA Republicans are counting on you to be frustrated by the pace of progress, which they have done everything they can to slow down, that you will hand power over to them so they can enact their extreme agenda. Okay. Yes, Biden, our extreme agenda is just that, to make America great again. Hey, Biden, it's time for you to take responsibility. Not only are you the appointed president, but you're a miserable failure. The entire world, except for maybe Canada, is laughing. Why not Canada? Because the leadership there is even worse than yours. You know, do you want to do the best thing Americans could do to fight inflation and high taxes right now? The best thing for you to do right now to fight inflation and the best thing you to do to fight high taxes? And the answer is real simple. All of you guys need to vote the Democrats out of office forever. If you're watching or listening to this, remember that next week is the primaries, so make sure you vote to make America great again by voting a Republican candidate that can and will win the midterm elections. You know what? Also, vote out those stinking rhinos who are just Democrats in disguise anyway. Don't forget to vote. Next week's vote is the most important vote you're going to ever have in your entire life, is to vote the people who can actually win and get rid of these guys. All right, let's talk about Trump and Twitter. Hey, we've heard, of course, that Elon Musk is buying Twitter, and if we wait and while we wait for this transaction to occur, we also waited for the decision on whether Trump will be allowed to be back on the platform. Well, Elon Musk declared yesterday that he would absolutely allow Trump to be back on the platform, and that makes sense, right? Because Musk continues to be the beacon for free speech and constitutional values. Look, Trump was banned from all platforms after the so-called insurrection on January 6th while the fake president was being confirmed. Why was he banned? Well, the best way to keep the truth away from citizens is ban free speech. If you want a lesson in this method, just simply read from the great prophet George Orwell. Musk made this following statement. I do think that it was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think it was a mistake because it alienated a large part of the country and did not ultimately result in Donald Trump not having a voice. In fact, it probably made his voice bigger. Mr. Musk called the ban a morally bad decision, saying permanent bans undermine trust in Twitter. If there are tweets that are wrong and bad, they should be either deleted or made invisible, and maybe a suspension or temporary suspension might be appropriate, but not a permanent ban, Mr. Musk said. Like Musk, most of you agree that free speech is essential to keep this country great. Trump should have never been banned. We all know that other leaders who threaten this country and people publicly, they threaten this country and publicly threaten other people on Twitter are still allowed to be on Twitter. Including all the terrorist organizations such as the Taliban, Russia, and Black Lives Matter. Goodbye, YouTube account. Well, Trump has publicly responded by saying he has his own platform and we will probably not be back on Twitter. But frankly, I don't believe that. He'll be back. And, when the deal with Musk returns, I wonder if the woke employees at Twitter deleted all Trump's accounts and data as well. To make him have to rebuild it again and rebuild his following. Well, it shouldn't take long to rebuild anyway. But I used to enjoy seeing the tweets from Trump. They either made me laugh, they either made me angry, or they made me think he was crazy, or all three. But they were a lot of fun. They were all good. Matter of fact, I recently bought this book called The Art of the Tweet. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's actually pretty funny. It has all Trump's tweets. Pretty interesting. All right, let's take a break. I'll see you guys in about a minute. Hi, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and I've written a book called Money Hacks. The subtitle to this book is because everything you think you know about money is wrong, and I promise you there are things you think about money that are wrong. There are chapters in this book that I think you will find absolutely fascinating, and some of them are, what is money anyway? Can money buy happiness? I'll bet you don't know the answer to that question. The truth about credit scores, how you can actually use credit cards to rebuild your credit. I also have chapters on being your own bank, how to buy houses with an IRA, and how to invest with other people's money. There are so many other chapters. There are 22 total chapters in this book, and I promise you're going to learn how to make more money and pay less taxes when you buy this book. My name is Larry Steinhouse. The name of the book is Money Hacks. You can get this book wherever fine books are sold, and you can go to barnesandnoble.com right now and pre-order it. I hope that you will enjoy it. Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, by the way, I'm doing a book launch on June 1st. If you guys want to join me, it'd be great. Go to moneyhacksbook.com, moneyhacksbook.com to register. You can register for $27. I'm going to buy you dinner, and it'll be a lot of fun. So be there. Go to moneyhacksbook.com, and of course, I'm going to be wearing that jacket that you just saw in the commercial, and it matches the book. All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update right now, and the Dow keeps moving up. It's up about 350, the S&P is up about 50, and the NASDAQ is up about 181. All right, we talked about the fact that, of course, it's all the Republicans' fault. We talked about the fact that Trump will be back on Twitter. Coming up, we have today's picks and plays. Hey, did you guys hit that like button? Come on, I keep asking you, hit that like button. Moshe, I see you saying hi, and Rob, say hi. But the best way to say hi to me is hit that like button now and hit that share button. Let everyone know what great stocks are about to come up, and share the information. And don't forget, you could share this in groups, and you can share it on your homepage as well. You could also leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. All right, so it might actually be, we might be out of the woods for now. The Wall Street money managers are calming down after the 6 weeks of terrible results. The market may be calming down today, but remember the VIX is still high, and the reflation report is due in about a half an hour. It needs to be in the sweet spot, or hell is going to break loose again. My money is back in the travel stock, and it's a turbulent ride. The boat's rocking, and I'm a bit seasick with the prices right now. You know, I can only hope for my 30% increase in the cruise industry by July when my options run out. I also have some Disney stock that expires in a few weeks, so I need Disney to pop this week. All right, speaking of Disney, by the way, I'm going to be visiting Woke World pretty soon. So expect a couple of best of episodes the next few days, and, enjoy them. All right, so where should you invest next? Most of the stocks have been beaten down. Sometimes I sit here and say they can't go down any further, and then they meet my challenge. You have to remember that most stocks, even when moving down, will cycle up and down. This is something you need to understand. I look at the current cycle as one that's down from the next cycle, that it goes down, and then from the next cycle it goes back up. You know, did I say that I expected the Dow to be at about 31,500? And it did come near that yesterday, so is it the bottom? It might be, but I'm not sure. The time of the cycle being mid-May scares me a bit, because from here till mid-June, it may get ugly as we reach the dead zone. The S&P is below 4,000, or at least was yesterday, and all the indicators are below their 52-week low yesterday as well, and that's kind of scary. This is a market that you'll either make a lot of money in if you pick the right stocks or options, or a market that will wipe out all your gains if you're squeamish. I suggest you go into low risk and slow moving stocks like AT&T, Kellogg's, or even Procter & Gamble that are paying nice dividends. Wait out the market if you feel you must, and then you see, right? You know I'm all in, but remember I've established many other investments such as real estate, precious metals, and businesses that will keep me going if things go bad. I live below my means, and I suggest you do the same. If you're a new listener or a new viewer and like me to review anything you're doing, listen, you can show up this Thursday night, go to a class of investor schooling, or if you just want to reach out to me personally, you can go to www.contactlarry.com and just set up an appointment with me. www.contactlarry.com. There's no cost, just paying it forward. Let's take a quick look at the futures finally. The Dow is up 325, the S&P is up 47, and the NASDAQ is up 171. Let's talk about crypto. Crypto might be in trouble. Bitcoin is right around 31,000 again. However, the real concern is the stable coin called UST. Look, I'm going to tell you it's a developing story. However, the coin dropped about 60% recently, and it's supposed to be equal to the dollar. I'm going to catch back up with you guys on this story because I'm trying to understand it completely about how this coin works. But this is a coin that's supposed to be what's called a stable coin, which goes one-on-one with the U.S. dollar, and it's now at 30 cents. And if the dollar's a dollar and this is at 30 cents, we're no longer one-on-one with the dollar. So something went wrong here. I just want to find out more about how this works and why it's working. All right, let's get into gold and silver. Gold and silver, another one. They're just sitting there. You know, there's no real moves at gold at 1850, and silver's just under 22. I'm really surprised that silver's just under 22. I really my thought is silver should be around 25 at a low. At the low is at 22. I don't know. Some people were asking me yesterday if they should get into some of the gold mining stocks, and I'm going to say not until they're a lot lower. We still have the stocks. They should go a lot lower before you get into the gold mining stocks like Yamana Gold or even JNUG is a crazy one. That's a little bit different. It's not a gold mining stock, but it's a gold future stock. All right, let's talk about also the Treasury bond. The bond rate is below 3%, and of course that may be helping to boost the market today. So, the bond rate, who knows? I mean, it's not making any sense. It should be in the threes, and people should stop panicking over this, and they should stop panicking over 5 and 6% interest rates. That should be normal. 5 or 6 should be normal, and 8, 9, and 10 should be high. We just happen to come off the lowest interest rates ever, and it's just not going to happen anymore. Oil is moving in a range of about 100 to 110, and right now it's about 103. And I also want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. I want to thank you for your continued support, and if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let me know. My name is Larry Steinhouse. I am the host of Money Chat Now, and I am the CEO of Investor Schooling. Of course, from time to time, I own some of the stocks and assets, some of the assets and options discussed in the show, and no one has asked me for my opinion. No one has asked me for my opinion. Oh, you guys asked me for my opinion. But just so you know, they are my opinions. Anyway, have a profitable day. I'll see you next week.